Let's jump to the wall here, and today we've got a rating year 1 One-Lord-Doomstack playing as Cylostra Direfin. So, he sent it in with her on foot, and I was looking at the stats, and I tried out the battle ahead here, and I was like, The problem with her is that she only had about 3,000 health, and so she just got ground down. But with the Rotting Leviathan, 8,728 health. This is on large unit scale, not ultra. Another thing to consider is that, unlike with Imric, we're actually at... Oh, are we at our max resistant cap? Hang on, let me just have a look here. Because she had more resistances when she was on foot. But let me see. So we got 57%. That means 87% physical resistance. And yeah, we're capped out for magic resistance. Okay, so if she was on foot, she gets essentially 3% extra physical resistance. That's fine. Looks like the campaign's been completely sacrificed to throw this at it. What have we got in terms of items? We've got the Sword of Cain Dominating. That's good, I guess. Other tricks is Shard. Can we not do better than that? I mean, it's too late now. Missile, you probably don't need it if you're already at that much. Armor of Destiny, Talisman of Preservation, yeah. Hey, that's where you're getting a... Oh, we don't have that applied right now. Wait. That could be good. That'll push us up to 77% ward save. Okay. Alright, then the question here is that should we do a siege battle? Oh, we'll do it on the open field. Alright, let's see how that goes. Oh my god, look at that movement range. Actually, before we do that, let's have a look at her traits. I just realized we should check that. Orcsbane, what's she got? Let's have a look. Who has she defeated? She's beaten Nakai, that's good. Nah, it doesn't matter. She's got regen, doesn't she? Yep, she got regen. Okay. That's good, I guess. Magic resistance, that's good. Defeated Gotrek. It's not going to matter in this case here. That's good. Defeating Ungrim. Lots of good stats for that. Good. Defeated Azag. Defeated Wurzag. That's very important. Defeated Ikaclaw. Yeah, that's useful for her because she's a spellcaster. Ah, she has defeated Isabella, yeah. Yep, Heinrich Kemmler. Defeated Throt. Yeah, she's gone around. The only one I could think of that would really help a bit further, and I might have missed it, was Krokgar, extra melee defense. But it looks like Krokgar's dead. Let me just check. Yeah, Krokgar's dead. You could revive him, but it's 10 extra melee defense. It would help because her melee defense is only 52. But anyway, let's jump in here and see how she goes. So yeah, I've already fought this on foot, and she just didn't have much health, so she just got ground down. So I really want to test it out with her on her mount. Now I imagine that if you're going up against something a bit more missile heavy, you might actually want to go on foot, just because with a big unit such as a Rotting Leviathan, it's very easy to shoot. So in this case here, they were only up against melee infantry, and while they definitely will do more damage to us, it won't be that by that much. Yeah, there we go. Now we're at max resistance cap there. Okay. Alright, let's just see how it goes. So yeah. Well, let's see how this performs. Because yeah, you kind of want to tailor your mount depending on what you're going up against. If you're going up against the Empire, you probably want to go small, because their guns just have such a hard time shooting at you. They're reasonably good at taking out single entity monsters. Same thing with dwarfs. But if you're going up against Tomb Kings, because their missile units kind of suck, you probably want to go big. So we'll see how this goes. So just by herself, she's almost as strong as one army in terms of what the balance of power says. I thought it said we'd have 8,000 health. Maybe some of her traits didn't have time to apply. I've seen that happen sometimes. Sometimes you need to give it a full turn for them to get their full health. Or another thing is that it might have actually thought we were playing on ultra unit scale, because that's my default setting. And then when you go into the battle, it calculates it correctly. I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so she got 160 winds of magic. Yeah, so that didn't do much damage. Alright, no, don't. They're moving. Alright, let's try to take out their general first. Because I'd like to get them to crumble. Now, just a bit of housekeeping, I suppose, as well, is that it would be good if you guys don't send your one-man Doomstacks up against the Warriors of Chaos again, because we've already fought them, and the Warriors of Chaos are a boring enemy to fight, and it took me an hour and 20 minutes to beat it with Imric. It's just a massive grind, so let's set a rule: no more than 2 armies. Okay, otherwise it's just... It might be too easy for the Lord to fight. Otherwise, it just takes too long. There was so many comments like, "This is boring." You know, hour and 20 minutes of just swooping, and I get it. It is boring. All right, well, okay. Let's see how we're gonna cast this. Just wait for a good opportunity. Really wanted to kill that Lord, but he kind of ran away. So far, we've barely taken any damage, despite being on this huge fucking mount. Also got those abilities as well. I feel like a good opportunity is starting to form up over here. So Vanguard's Revenge is kind of like the poor man's Wind of Death, except it's probably just as powerful as Wind of Death. It's just kind of more difficult to cast because this takes longer. But if you can manage to get a good shot of it in, it can do just as much damage as Winds of Death, except just a lot cheaper. So yeah, melee defense there definitely isn't the best, but she's just so resistant. She's taking less damage than what Imric did. But, you know, Imric didn't have maximum resistance, but he also had way more melee defense. Let's get another one of those going in this direction. Don't really want to overcast it. Oh, yes! Let's do that right there. Alright, she's already up to 1,000 kills. Looking good. And she has taken 500 damage in total. Okay, having already fought this battle before on foot, I can guarantee you right now, based on this performance, she's doing a hell of a lot better on this. Ooh, that would seem good, but it doesn't do much damage, but maybe I'll just do that. Yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage either. So that's 12 points of magic and this is 4. How? I must have been crumbling. Good. Hey, if you want to... Hang on. Try to predict where they're going to be. But they're starting to disperse. Still going to be okay, I think. Let's see how many kills we get. I'm reckoning about 200. Yeah, maybe a bit more than that. We've also got these abilities as well, but there's going to be archers coming in the later stages of the battle. Now, that's going to be the biggest problem for us. What also might be good is if we were sitting here waiting for them when they showed up. Oh, right, it was a different lord that died. It wasn't the main lord. Okay, that's fine. But so far, she's only taken 600 damage in total. And she's also got a larger weapon strength being on the Rotting Leviathan. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Rotting Leviathans as a unit, but as a mount, I think it's pretty good. So I've got this, but now they're not clumped up anymore. The sooner we use it, the sooner we can get some more. And there goes their lord. Cool. And now it'll be easier to get them to crumble. See, when we're playing against the Warriors of Chaos, even after killing Archaon, they just wouldn't rout. But these ones here will, because, you know, lower tier units. Significantly lower tier. So looking at her damage at the moment, oh my god, it's so much better than her on foot. Like, even the amount of damage that she's taken here is less than what she took when she was on foot by this point in the battle. Which I'm actually really surprised with, because she's big. She's, you know, she's a big girl. Which would mean that they would hit her more often. But also, she's able to cause more disruption with her attacks. But I reckon when their archers come in, that's when we're really going to start taking damage. That's when we need to be ready. Alright, I'm going to cast down there. Maybe we'll hit them as they're passing through. No, I don't want to cast on myself. Can't. Too late. See, this is what I was saying about this spell here. It's good, but they have a chance to move out of the way. You know, you need a good 10 seconds. Lost 1,000 health so far. It's alright. Good, there goes that Tomb Prince. Oh, hello. Still no archers coming in. I would have liked to have attempted to beat my previous kill record, but because on large unit scale, there's no way that's going to happen. My previous kill record was with Isabella von Karstein on a campaign I did about a year ago, where I went into the battle with over like 700 winds of magic, and just wind of death like crazy. And she got 6,367 kills. But because on large unit scale instead of ultra, there's 30 fewer troops in every skeleton unit. There's no way we can kill that many. Now they haven't received all of their reinforcements yet, but I guess we get an idea of how much when they all show up. I think that was an okay cast. What are they doing? I don't understand what's going through their mind. The AI really doesn't understand how you could send one Lord in against them. And one of the best ways to win battles in this, I should say, one of the most effective ways to win battle, is to derp out the AI. Because yeah, an enemy that doesn't fight back, well, that's an easy enemy. Hey, Legends of Bully! Yeah, didn't want any of what they had to offer. I've got blood on, don't I? Yeah. Yeah, there's no blood because it's all bones. Oops. Now we could start using this as well, which we'll see. It's not that many archers, but it's not doing any damage. There definitely is a max resistance cap, like where they like every arrow should do at most. It's not doing anything to her. She's not taking any damage at all. Or is she just regenning faster than they can actually dish out damage? I'm just seeing these archers here. They are doing no damage to her. Like, these other units here are affecting her. Because when I was on foot, they were definitely damaging her. The arrows are just passing right through. Huh. I wonder if that's just unique to Cylostra. Interesting. I really thought that would be a massive concern. Maybe she's got like a special hitbox, and the archers are trying to shoot at what would be a normal Rotting Leviathan hitbox, but what they actually need to be doing is hitting her. I don't know, but they were doing no damage. That would be a great place. Oh, hang on, I still got these. Oh, can't cast them both at the same time. Nobody over there, I don't know why you're bothering. But yeah, I can tell you right now, having done this battle on foot and on Leviathan, Leviathan's way better. Like, by several degrees of magnitude, like, way better, at least in this case here. Like, this is really strong. The great thing is, this battle's not going to take an hour and 20 minutes as well. Alright, I gotta get rid of this. Well, hang on, if they're not doing any damage to us, why bother? Why don't we just let them be? How is it doing no damage? Like, if you reduce that down to 90%, it should still do 1 damage. But it's not. The shots are hitting, you can see, like, they're stopping. But they're just inflicting no damage. I'm wondering if something's happened here where she's actually gone over the max resistance cap. I don't know. But the thing is, though, she had more resistances on foot because she had like 95% physical resistance while on foot, but she doesn't have that here, so I don't know. Don't know. There are a lot of things here that don't seem to make sense. Might not even need these. Now, I don't think that she would have been able to handle those 4 Chaos armies because of, like, all the Dragon Ogres and Giants and stuff like that. She wouldn't have been able to avoid them like Imric did. And Imric certainly probably could have handled this. So, things to keep in mind. It is an easier enemy.
Break their spirits.
I don't know if I should have done that. Good, getting loads of kills. Still got 4,000. She's only lost 1,500 health. See, by this point in the battle when I was on foot, I'd used up all my regen. It was all gone. Now, that had 2,500 health regen. And that was all gone. This time, we've only used up 1,500. So, something's going weird with her, where she's just not getting hit. Like, her melee defense isn't any higher. Because, yeah, he sent it in on foot, and I was like, something just seemed off about it. I just thought, oh, let's try it on the wrong Leviathan, and I'll just upload whichever video does better. And this one's doing a lot better. So yes, that's right. I do 2 sometimes, just to make sure I get the best one. Because you want to test it out properly. Kind of looks... See if we can predict where they're going to be in a few seconds. They're just moving in not random directions, in different directions, so I have to say, alright, yeah, take that out. Alright, seems like the single entities are actually managing to do a bit of damage to her, though. Alright, look at this. If I can time this just right, this lot here will be walking through here when that casts. There we go. It was alright. That wasn't amazing. War Sphinx down. And yeah, it did a bit of damage to her, which is okay. Yeah, that's probably going to hurt a fair bit. We should probably stop that. Necro Sphinx will be pretty dangerous later down the track when it actually decides to fight us. Which is right now. Yeah, I've still got these abilities here if things start to get a bit dicey. Might be a good idea for some extra melee defense. That's not going to be amazing, but whatever. Just got to keep casting it.
Listen and tremble!
I really don't like that spell. Really don't like it, but it could be a good idea to tie them up a little bit, but I'd prefer to use this. War Sphinx went down really quick. And that Necro Sphinx, let's see how much damage it did to us. Not that much. Not that much.
Upload me!
Just a little bit of cheap damage with that. Good at getting rid of the archers. Just bog us down. But yeah, it doesn't seem like these archers here hitting us at all. Like I said, it's got 300 damage, but yeah, they're not hitting us. Artillery. Okay, if I was on foot, I would leave that artillery piece here, but probably best I don't while I'm on a mount. I mean, it's an anti-infantry piece. It's just that it's more likely to hit us. Just because we're so big. So by the time this unit came in, I was down to about half health when playing with this. And if you're thinking, why not upload both? Because it's shit for the algorithm. Yeah, if I'm going to do multiple takes on something, I'll upload the best one, not like everything. It's kind of like uploading an outtake. It's like it's funny for a bit, but I don't know, it'd get tiresome. Alright, time for the Hero Titan, which is going down pretty well. Alright, let's use one of these. Seems to disrupt them more than anything. Okay. Good, took out that Chimerian War Sphinx. Not gonna worry too much about these units. We took out the artillery, didn't we? No, it's still... Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Alright, let's use this now. A lot of archers here. This will just be an easy way to get rid of them, because they're just gonna avoid us otherwise. Bouncer power's looking good. Like, comparatively speaking.
Nice! Full tilt!
And I think that's the last of their reinforcements. If I recall, it's 6,854. That's how many troops they have. And there's the Amuloses. Oh wow, there was such a huge difference between this and being on foot. Holy crap. I had it. don't know what else to do with it. Because, like, I killed that many with Cylostra on foot. We didn't inflict the army loss penalty. Well, because we lost that battle. We almost... where she really failed was fighting the Hyro Titan. That took off, like, 600 of her health fighting that while she was on foot. Well, on this, nope, didn't do any damage. Also, the battle lasted a lot longer while on foot, because they didn't do that much damage to us, because they couldn't really hit us, but yeah, that went so much better.
Am I not magnanimous?
Well, okay. So, I had my doubts about Cylostra after first trying her out, but when I put her on the Rotting Leviathan, at least in this case here, my god did that make a huge difference. That turned the battle from being like really difficult to being like, that was easy. Anybody could have done that battle. Alright, so let's rate her, because I actually forgot to rate Imric. I had to do it in the comments. Alright. Spellcaster, very good. That's very useful. Maximum resistances, she barely took any damage. I really want to kind of test her out against guns, because something was going off with those missile units there. They just were not doing any damage to us at all. I don't know if maybe they were doing like fractions of a damage, or we were regenerating too quickly for it to do anything. Or were they actually doing no damage? Because we were also in melee when the shots were coming in. And usually you can see when the arrows hit, like a whole bunch of hit point damage happens all at the same time. But that didn't happen. Seemed like we were actually blocking the shots. So I don't think it's as strong as Imric. And I gave Imric a 9 out of 10 with the potential of 10 out of 10 if he had hunt down all the traits. Now this one here, he's hunt down a lot of... Yeah, look, we've got more health here now. We didn't have 8,700 in that battle. He's hunted down a lot more traits. He also made sure he had the Sword of Cain dominating. But also, we have to take into consideration the faction. Vampire Coast is not as good with the Sword of Cain as, say, Vampire... Shut up! As good as the... Vampire Counts, because Vampire Counts make a way more money than Vampire Coast. Like, shitloads more. And since they don't really pay for their trips, you know, if you're going to play them the way I play them, reducing or increasing upkeep cost by 10% is not that big of a deal when you have like 20 supply lines. But Vampire Coast don't really work that way, and their economy doesn't make so much money. You have to reduce upkeep costs, so the extra 10% could quite hurt. But at the same time, there are few armies in the game that would be able to handle Cylostra on her own with this. Like, you'd probably need to go up against Empire with guns or Dwarves with Slayers or something like that to even stand a chance against this. Like, she just did so much damage. It was just like Rite of Prime, like 5 Rite of Prime... Oh, you can't go up against 5. 4 Rite of Primeval Glory armies. Something like that. Because the single entities were doing a little bit of damage, and she's very tanky. I did notice she's got the Deep Cleaner, but I don't think she's got the trait from getting bloody. So that's away from... And I think Imric may have actually had it. I just overlooked it in the previous one. Yeah, I don't think you've got it in here. So if you get that, you get yourself some even more health. Maybe even get yourself to 10,000, just like what Imric had. But yeah, she's a lot tankier than Imric. But Imric having the advantage of being able to fly certainly helped. I'm leaning to give this a 9 out of 10. The things that's letting her down is really just her faction. Increasing the upkeep cost by 50%. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. There it is. By 10% for all units faction-wide. That will hurt the Vampire Coast a lot more than it will hurt High Elves. High Elves are so rich that 10%, 20%, 30% extra upkeep cost on their armies. Who cares? This doesn't matter. Their economy becomes irrelevant. You know, if you play them correctly. Which I'm always going to assume. Public Order is not that big of a deal for Vampire Coast. Their public order is fine. Because they got a lot of buildings that will negate corruption penalties, and they have a lot of stuff that will provide public order, so that's not a big deal for them. The diplomatic relations -40 with all people, that doesn't really matter because everybody hates them by default anyway, so diplomacy really isn't going to matter. So yeah, I'd say 9 out of 10. And she did a really good job. I wasn't expecting to do this. I thought this was going to be a joke, and I was going to give her as like a 6 out of 10, but color me impressed. That degree of ward save, the physical resistance, magic resistance, you got all the right traits. I think you put in the time and effort. I just think you were wrong about putting her on foot. I did the battle twice. I did it on foot and on running Leviathan. It was infinitely easier on running Leviathan. But there might be some situations where putting her on foot might actually be better. But I think it's largely based on how many guns the enemy has. But anyway, that's the end of this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sending me more of these single entity Doomstacks and just disasters and stuff in general. Really do appreciate it. It's what keeps the channel going. But yeah, just keep in mind, if you're going to send a single Lord Doomstack, please no more than like 2 armies. Otherwise the video just ends up too long. I think 2 armies. If a Lord can take out 2 armies and quite easily, then we can sort of evaluate how well they did and just give them a rating based on that. It doesn't have to be a near impossible battle. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.